Good evening, everyone. Here we are. It is, of course, the Fruit Nut News on, of course, what is today is the 13th today, 33 people in the house today. As I look out of my window here, across the fields and the horses, reasonably good blue sky, not too bad. Clouds are like I remember them when I was a kid. You know, them big fluffy ones, which you used to think, oh, I could fly on them. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember the film Monkey? Whew. So, good evening, everyone. It is, of course, 7:15 Eastern Standard Time. Greenwich Mean Time. Greenwich Mean Time. 7:15 on the 13th of the 4th, 2026. So, what have we got for you today? Well, very interesting things happening. We shall run through it. We shall run through it and give you as much knowledge as we can to be able to decipher the bullshit, so to speak. So, Monday evening, here we are, Monday. Easter is the timeline. So, for all you people that are disappointed, well, please don't be disappointed. It's just one of them things. Don't worry too much. Don't get your knickers in a twist. Don't start shouting about. Don't start complaining. That's the worst thing you can do. Yeah, I often wonder. I often wonder when dates pass. I mean, I personally myself, I got over this date thing a long time ago, and it does take a bit of getting used to. Actually, it does, because you obviously you look forward to something, and then it doesn't happen, and then you know, and we all start to, and of course, what this is doing, I think that the Melania and the Trump situation are pretty sort of key at the moment to what's happening now. You know, if Donald Trump gets arrested or Melania gets arrested or whatever, most of you, a lot of people are going to be very, very, very thrown. However, I don't think that you should. And the reason that I think that you should is because when you understand that Donald Trump is an actor. He's an actor in the movie. When you understand that, you kind of you view it from the point of view that although you're watching what's going on, and to us it seems as though it's real life, but actually it's not. Okay, it's a movie. And you need to get your head around that. So it is really difficult to do. So my advice, as always, is to park yourself at 50,000 feet or 40 if if you're a bit scared of heights, and just watch the mission unfold. So anyway, enough of that bullshit. Enough of that. Let's get on with the juicy stuff. Now, I put out a post about Paolo. What an absolute cockwomble Paolo is. Now, there is actually more to Paolo than meets the eye, and this video that I all of a sudden popped up on my feed. Don't know where it's come from, got no idea. But anyway, very interesting. Goes into more detail. I'm going to watch it 2 or 3 times because I want to get a good perspective on Paolo, and I roughly know who he is, but I want to sort of get the connections going there. You know what I'm saying? Now, meanwhile, the Red Cross have been caught out red-handed red-handed Red Cross. Now, of course, as you well know, millions and millions of people donate to the Red Cross. Personally, I don't because I found out it was a scam many years ago. And somebody posted a pair of brand new trainers. They took it into the local Red Cross shop. Unbeknown to the staff, it had got a tagging device on it. Interestingly enough, the Red Cross at the time were raising money for disaster relief. Got no idea where the disaster was, but there's plenty of them going on around the world. Anyway, these pair of trainers that happen to be a Nike brand ended up in a shop in Bosnia. Now, this wasn't a normal shop. This was a second-hand pre-loved shop. You know the ones I mean? Where people take in the clothes and then the person sells it for a premium or whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So very interesting that was there. And, of course, we all know about the pallets of pallets of cash that were found. It was a few years ago now. I can't remember where it was, but it was found. They were in actual boxes with the Red Cross written on them. Pallets of cash. Yes, very interesting. Meanwhile, apparently Israel were going to assassinate the whole of the negotiation team in regards to Iran. I'll tell you what, Trump needs to get out of that fucker as quick as he can, let me tell you. Now, Benji ordered the assassination, and if it wasn't for Chinese and Pakistan jets escorting the plane, okay, the plane would have been shot down. I tell you what, forget President Putin, forget Xi Jinping, forget China, forget Korea, fucking hell, Netanyahu, man's a wild card, absolute crazy motherfucker. He wants certainly stopping. And then, of course, we've got more Palantir UK, the UK arm of the Palantir America, coming under massive scrutiny tonight over the NHS data breach. Now, this is where apparently Palantir have been sharing staff's data, telephone numbers, home addresses. Fucking hell. This is the NHS. I think the last figures that I remember from the NHS was 1 million people were involved, in and around the NHS. I would imagine it might be more now. That was a few years ago. So there you go. This Palantir company. And, of course, as we all know, Palantir is also widely involved in killing people around the world, particularly in Gaza, and particularly children. This is where the data that they collect is used to identify people. Very interesting. Anyway, meanwhile in Canada, Mark Carney, the ex-Bank of England criminal, who is going to come to book, says that we cannot trust America, and he basically tells all Canadians we cannot trust America. Meanwhile, Mark Carney's wife lives in the USA. His 4 children live and study in the USA. 91% of his investments are also in the USA. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was Donald Trump, I would be making a few phone calls, and I would be saying to Mark Carney, hey, you don't trust us, then you best deport yourself out of our country. Just saying, Mr. Trump, just saying. Anyway, there we go. Now, Netanyahu claims that he spoke to J.D. Vance yesterday. Now, we all know that J.D. Vance is linked to all kinds of people, particularly the Palantir CEO, Peter Thiel, who happened to introduce him to Donald Trump, even though he was a Trump hater. He actually called Donald Trump Hitler back in the day. Anyway, and he's changed his names 5 times, 6 times, Mr. Vance has as well. Anyway, Netanyahu apparently says that he speaks to Vance on a regular basis, and the administration, the American administration, report to me every day about proceedings. Now, remember, of course, that J.D. Vance is, of course, next in line to be President of the United States of America. I wonder if we're going to get a situation where Donald Trump is arrested, maybe. That could be quite interesting broadsheet news, couldn't it? Yes, let's wait and see. This, of course, could be over the Epstein shenanigans. But, of course, they're all in the club. It just depends who's steering the shit at the time. Glad I'm not in it, to be honest. Now, meanwhile, the Pope is once again in the spotlight, highlighted by Mr. Donald Trump, saying that he doesn't like the Pope at all. Condemnation around the world. However, because the Pope is back in the spotlight, we would like to bring you to a film called Spotlight. This is a 2:15 thriller about sexual paedophiles in the church and sexual abuse that is happening all over the world. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Little comms there, little comms. Meanwhile, of course, back to Netanyahu, there was an interview on TV just recently where apparently I think it was an American pundit was being absolutely slammed by the presenter because, of course, she was basically saying that it was okay for Maduro to be taken out of his bed. When questioned about this in great detail and told that Maduro didn't have any international warrants out for his arrest, however, Benjamin Netanyahu does. When questioned about is it okay for us to take Benjamin Netanyahu from his bed, she seemed to go rather quiet and lost her tongue. It was probably right at the time when it was up Benji's arse. But anyway, there we go. Let's just wait and see. So yeah, very interesting. Now, meanwhile, Iran have just released all the names of the captured military, American military, in the failed plutonium grab mission. Very interesting. Nothing from the White House on this one. Just a list of American servicemen that have been captured and held prisoner by Iran. To be honest, they look pretty well. So there you go. Treatment's looking good. So there you go. Meanwhile, of course, there is the F-15 pilot that apparently was rescued. I think it's the parents and the wife are still waiting to actually find out what's happened to this guy. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Once again, tumbleweed from the White House, let me tell you. Now, remember, just before we move forward, I want you all to remember that the Fruit and Nut News is not here to spread one narrative. So we are not particularly pro-Trump. We're not particularly pro-Putin. We're not particularly pro-Paulo. We're not particularly pro-Melania. We're not particularly pro-Xi Jinping. What we are here to do is we are here to offer you the news and the facts and the figures that are being presented to us at the time, at the present. That's why it's called a present, because it's now, and it's not in the past, and it's certainly not in the future. It's actually right now. So the things that we're talking about are going on right now. Whether you want to believe that or not is, of course, entirely up to you. We don't really care. So it's up to you to use your own discernment. That's why you're here on the planet. That's why you're probably watching this show, because you've realised that you've got something in common with many, many other people around the world. Okay? So, yeah, that's why we're here. Anyway, Japan. Fucking hell, did you see this one? Have you seen this? Japan, who recently were in America, according to the mainstream, got lambasted by Mr. Trump. Who knows? I mean, it was only a joke at the end of the day. I mean, so something about the last time you were here, it was Pearl Harbor. Talk about bad timing. Anyway, it was a slip of the tongue, so to speak. But anyway, we all have to look on the bright side of things, don't we? Now, meanwhile, Japan is having to defend its currency, okay, by dumping 1.2 trillion assets of US bonds. 1.2 trillion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not being funny. That is a shitload of bonds. That is a shitload of bonds. Now, don't forget, of course, that we are seeing the dollar, the petrodollar, i.e. Federal Reserve, maritime law, fiat Ponzi, money scheme, paper money, birth certificate scam. We're seeing all that collapse. Now, don't forget, the Federal Reserve, okay, was founded, we did this morning. What day were today? 14th. So on the 14th, on the night of the 14th of April, 2013. No, not 2013. Was it 2013? No, 1913. The Titanic got into difficulties, or should we say the Olympic, because it was swapped out. The Titanic got into difficulties over certain icebergs, and it wasn't until the 15th of April that the Titanic absolutely sank between the waves. Not sure what the time scale was. It was very quickly, but yes, the Olympic went to the bottom of the course, the ocean. And have you ever wondered why there is very little diving expeditions for the Titanic? The reason is, of course, that it's not the Titanic, it's the Olympic. So, okay, so of course they're not going to allow you to actually dive the wreck, because of course it would, it would bring new light to the world, so to speak. Anyway, now we come across education today. Now, apparently, even though Jamie Oliver, bless him, did his very best to introduce healthy eating into schools, apparently it didn't really do much good. And Keir Starmer and what's the other prat? Andy Burnham from Manchester were at some local schools today, championing the breakfast clubs and healthy eating choices for schools. Now, healthy eating, of course, sometimes requires a little bit more expenditure. Unfortunately, Starmer is not going to provide that to the schools. So, lunch will be a banana skin and an orange peel skin. Very interesting. Now, Trump has a great strategy here, the art of war. Apparently, when the enemy create a blockade, you also create one too, giving you checkmate. You've got to, honestly, I'm not being funny. You've got to love that. It's the best thing I've ever heard. Now, here we have. Now, we do believe that King Charles has now turned into a politician. So the King of England is not only Muslim, but he's now turned into the royal politician. Pray tell, Mark. Pray tell us more. Well, seems as though King Charles apparently has announced fresh EU legalisation next month when he does the King's speech. Now, I don't know about you, but wasn't it etiquette for royals to stay out of politics, especially in public? You never saw the Queen doing this. Oh, you never saw the Queen doing that. No. She always said, no, I'll have the meeting with my politician every week. And I'm not sure whether it was a Wednesday or I'm not sure. But anyway, but then that was it. You never heard her getting involved in anything. Now, particularly there's another story to the Queen that we're not going to go into tonight, but she never got involved in politics. And here we have the King, not only a Muslim, not only has got a Muslim son, who probably has a Muslim wife, right? Here we have King Charles highlighting the fact that bringing the UK under new EU rules. Now, Starmer has forced all MPs not to have a say in any EU regulations that are going to be brought in forthwith the future. So, honestly, unbelievable. So, I mean, this is incredible. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. So, unbelievable. Well, I'm going to say more. I'm not going to say any more. Meanwhile, of course, our great friend Alexander Quinn has informed us that the energy is really shifting. Once again, Alex is bang on the money. If you can't feel the energies moving now, you must be dead below the eyes. That's all I can say. The energies are absolutely incredible. I wouldn't even be surprised if it wasn't down to my flare-up that I've had over the last week. So yeah, very interesting. Now, did you know that illegal immigrants are being schooled in rape? Now, this is not to actually school them in how to rape people. This is basically the Home Office are giving them lessons on why you can't rape women and girls in the UK. Apparently, the Home Office have forked out a considerable amount of money for rape advisors to school the illegal immigrants in the UK etiquette scene. I mean, next we'll be having migrants turn up at Buckingham Palace for high tea on the fucking lawns with tuna and cucumber sandwiches, sipping on fucking wine. It'll just be like a scene out of Django. You know what I'm saying? La 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 la. And of course, the king is basically trying to get us back into Brexit because he knows that the shit is about to hit the fan. Or should we say, the shit has already hit the fan and he's fucked. That's what we should really be saying. Now, let's look at the Hoover Dam. Not many people understand what the Hoover Dam is. Not many people understand what the Hoover Dam has buried. Now, I want you to consider, first of all, the architecture and the building of the Hoover Dam. The Hoover Dam is a very interesting and very complicated structure. It produces hydroelectricity. Got no idea how much it produces, but what I do know is a fucking lot. However, what you are not told, and you are not told how this building was built. I think it was built round about maybe 1950s, somewhere around there. And it's a very, very complicated build. And the more you look at it, the more you actually go, something not quite right about this. And it's like, you know, when you drive up and down the UK, we've got a place called York very close to us. And York Minster is a marvel, an absolute marvel of engineering. It's a fucking marvel. Now, I don't know about you, but, you know, modern building techniques, modern building companies like Barrett's, Persimmons, all them, I mean, they put these houses up that last about 10 fucking minutes. I mean, York Minster has been around for probably a lot longer than what we realise. And yet, supposedly, it was built with wooden hammers and wooden chisels back in the day. The Hoover Dam is incredibly technical from a build point of view. Not only that, the environment that it was built in was very challenging as well. I mean, we're talking the middle of the fucking desert. We're talking fucking hot. We're talking like sweaty, shitty hot. You know what I mean? And what a lot of people don't know is that there's a vast water network called Lake Mead. Now, the question is, what is actually under Lake Mead? Well, according to certain gynecologists, under the Lake Mead are various stargates. There is a possibility that Atlantis or Lemuria could be built there. Apparently, star people and light workers basically resided in that area. Unfortunately, it was flooded, and you might wonder why it was flooded. Well, it was flooded by some invaders who basically took advantage of the hospitality of the star people and light workers. Hence the reason we are now doing this little job interview. So the invaders basically learnt everything from the star people and then basically fucking buried it. Not only did they bury it underwater, but of course they also created a lot of magic and a lot of certain things to subvert the truth. And that's been going on for well, rather a while, should we say. However, it seems to be coming to light more and more and more. And then, of course, we also look at the Abadan Stargate in Iran. That's another interesting node point. Then, of course, we've got CERN, the Hadron Collider in Switzerland. We've got the Bermuda Triangle, very interesting things happen within the Bermuda Triangle. People go missing, people disappear, planes disappear, ships disappear. There was that very famous ship, an American ship, that was lost in Bermuda, and it was basically found in the middle of the desert with no fucking crew on board. Very interesting. So have a good think about the Hoover Dam. I have put up a video on this, so if you want to go and have a look at this, please do so. Now, Hungary, Viktor Orban is out. We've got to be thinking stolen election. We've got to be thinking, I mean, this is a country with very tight borders. Don't forget, Donald Trump endorsed Viktor Orban as Prime Minister. He's a Christian man, very tight borders, massively strict on immigration. He told the EU were basically going to charge him €1 million a day because he wouldn't take a certain quota of migrants. And he said, no. He said, my country is remaining free. And, of course, so what have the EU done? Well, the EU have basically stolen an election and put in a guy called Peter Magar. Magar is, of course, a wife beater. He's very corrupt. He's backed by Starmer, the EU, Israel, and Mossad, which tells you all you fucking need to know as to what's happened. He's been installed in there basically to change all of the, well, he's been installed apparently to save Hungary, and of course that's not particularly the case. He's going to destroy Hungary, and this of course has got nothing to do with the Hungarian people. This is to do with the fixed elections that we all know are taking place. Now, across certain areas of the UK, it's being brought to dog owners' attention that dogs are being poisoned in parks. Now, the question is, who doesn't like dogs? Well, the police don't like dogs. What's that group that don't like dogs? The religious group. I can't remember the name. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it just doesn't seem to be forming in my gob. Do you know the one I mean? Yeah, very interesting. Anyway, now Keir Starmer is basically touching down in Germany tomorrow to discuss the end of World War II. Yes, you heard that right. He's recently back from Saudi. And he's now on his way to Germany to end World War II. Absolutely fucking fucking unbelievable. And then apparently he's then going to have talks about World War One, the ending of World War One. And not content with that, he's going the full hog. He's going to fly to America to see Donald Trump in regards to talks on Vietnam and the Cuban Missile Crisis. Fucking hell, I mean, this geezer's getting about here. And then he's back to Britain for intense talks with Tony Blair over Iraq, the weapons of mass destruction that were never found by Dr. Kelly, and, of course, the Afghanistan war. And also he wants to end 9/11. Very interesting. So Starmer seems to be, very busy chappy. Very, very busy chappy. Now, we've got a little bit more on Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel, Palantir. I'm conscious of the time, though. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one first thing in the morning, because it's actually quite a big thing. It has to do with the connections of people and places. Now, it's a known fact. I had to apologise about the book that's come out in that came out in the UK. I think it was in 2025. It was called The Rise and Fall of the House of York. Now, I thought it was out this week, but it actually not. It was out in 2025. Now, in this book, Andrew Mountbatten up your backside, okay, reveals that Melania was a tossed salad between him and Epstein. Very interesting. Of course, Melania, has said that she didn't know Jeffrey Epstein. She had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. That, of course, also leads us to Mr. Paolo, who happened to be running an Eastern European modelling agency, aka escort agency. You know, girls for sex. Know what I mean? Anyway, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no fucking more. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get myself off. Love you, lads. Take care. We will, of course, see you all again sometime tomorrow, which happens to be the 14th of the 4th, 2026. Don't forget to look out for the rods of God. Don't forget to look out for World War III starting. Don't forget we could have a possibility of a nuclear Armageddon. The aliens are probably just round the corner. And don't forget there are 34 satanic sites that need to be blown up at some particular stage. And then, of course, we've got the EBS happening in between times, just while you're having a coffee break. So for all those people that need to catch the breath, if I was you, I'd start now, because it's going to hot up rather quickly, I would imagine. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it might be 2027, 2028, maybe 29, 2030, maybe 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Who knows? We just don't know. So anyway, what I would do if I was you, I would just relax, sit yourself at 40,000 feet, enjoy the movie, because it's absolutely incredible. Some of the things that are going off are just unbelievable. I mean, seriously unbelievable. We're talking some, what should we say, biblical shit. Know what I mean? I sat down the other day wondering, I wonder what people are going to write about this time in history. I wonder if in 20, 30, 40 years' time, someone will come across my videos and be flicking through them on some magical electronic device where you can get 3D animation, or do you know what I'm saying? It's actually very, very interesting. All I can tell you is this: it cannot carry on. It cannot carry on at the levels that it's going at the moment. It cannot. It's the pace and the speed of it is pretty incredible. So, you know, many people are predicting, you know, the end. Many people are predicting, you know, the time has come, I mean, you know, Easter is the timeline, you know, give or take, you know, but it certainly cannot carry on at this level. It's just going to blow up. It's just, I mean, people are losing their shit. One of my customers today, she had a bit of a spat with me. It was a couple of weeks ago now. And it was in regards to money, and she finally realised that she was in the wrong. I got an apology, but it wasn't what I call a proper apology. It was one of them ones where, yeah, I'm going to say sorry because I'm in the wrong, but I don't really mean it. And so that was a couple of weeks ago, and we seeded the grass for her and did a few bits and pieces. And went back there today, and 2 weeks later, she's still on it. Fucking hell, she's still on it. She's still got this, like, you can feel it from her. And it's, so people are losing the shit, you know, down to the energies and all that. People are snapping. So, you know, at the end of the day, we have to be, we have to be nice, I suppose. I was just, you know, I walked in, cut the grass, smiled. She asked me to do a few things for her, which I did. And although it was a bit frosty, I just got on with what I was doing. I don't get pulled by these people anymore, because it's not, there's no point. It's an absolute waste of energy. Anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have got 6,000 suppressed technologies coming. Med beds are on the way. Apparently we're going to get flying skateboards. I can't fucking wait. I cannot fucking wait to get a flying fucking skateboard. Fucking hell, that is going to be like proper next level shit, that. Brilliant stuff. And then we're going to get food that cooks itself. There's no cooking, no prep time. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to cook itself. It's going to be great. It's going to be lovely. People are going to tuck you up in bed. You're not even going to know. You're going to be able to float around the planet. Forget planes. You don't need a fucking plane. Don't need an airport. Just fucking jump in your back thing, and off you go. Job done. Anyway, listen. Take care. Love you loads. We'll see you all again soon. Have a great evening. Enjoy yourselves. And love you loads. Don't forget to share the videos far and wide. Remember, any platform that you think it can go on, just lob it on. Let's go. Let's go brand on. All right. Take care. Love you loads. Bye.